to everybody. First of all, I would like to greet the participants of the conference and wish everyone fruitful cooperation and good luck and success.
May I introduce you Doctors Yaroslav Haleta and Oleksandr Balanutsa with their statement, Theory and Practice of Organization of Independent Cognitive Activity of Future Teachers by means of Information and Communication Technology in Quarantine Conditions in Ukraine. Please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Elena, good afternoon. Can you hear me well?
Yes,
Thank you very much. I would like to welcome everybody, all the colleagues and friends. It's a wonderful opportunity to speak and share some ideas. I will try to make it brief, to be within this 3 minutes level. It's my honor to represent Dr. Yaroslav Haleta, a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, and myself. We have our research interests in the following fields. Dr. Yaroslav is very interested in professionally developing the training of the future teachers. Myself, really fond of professional training of the future diplomats, since I myself have the honor to present our country in the state of Kuwait, and especially those experts in the field of international relations. When we deal with the education as it is, we perceive system of education as the informational educational medium, its so-called environment, or you can call it a space or some informational freedom. However, that freedom is very systematic. And when we have this environment for the students, for the teachers, that is actually the complex of conditions, which really these conditions provide for development and social involvement and character building of a person. And if we as teachers arrange this process, this complex properly, then the educational environment would enable students to adapt. And everybody would have this adaptation to its own requirements, whatever is needed. Should it be foreign languages, or shouldn't be medicine, or shouldn't be math or history? Now, when we have the informational technologies as a specific tool, especially on the time of the lockdown and quarantine, then it means that we can model the interaction and joint activities between various elements. Should it be teacher-teacher or teacher-students or students and teachers? And reasoning from self-oriented education, what actually you want, then you would use this IT technologies which make capabilities wide open to customize educational processes, specifically for the requirements that a person wants, because the new possibilities are there. When we talk about theoretical practical aspects on how to actually organize this self-development, self-dependent cognitive activity, we can work with using of different IT and networking communicative technologies, because you cannot actually talk to the computer by itself. So you need to have the IT and you need to have a person to communicate with. So there should be a feedback. The system should have a set of controls and sets and experiments and examples. Then you need to have this mobile feedback, and also you need to have someone to network with to show the examples, so to present the results. And we believe that the successful performance of this professional task is actually the willingness of a person to take responsibility, to be mobile, to demonstrate his independence. And then when we have this attitude towards studies, then you definitely see high results of the person who wants to integrate himself into this educational environment. And the teacher in this case moves from his role of a controlling function, but rather of a supporting, of a guiding function. We have tried to play with this interactive computer technologies during the quarantine, and we developed and offered such a virtual lab, virtual laboratory, which is actually a very effective model of organization of group work of the students. And within our research circle, students would be able to use this virtual lab, which consists of two pieces: a lab unit, which actually has a new remote access with a real laboratory, and software, which allows you, as I said, to model a variety of different pedagogical and psychological processes and situations. And as a result, you would see that we really find out some really good results of the observation of the objects that the students do, the identification of a problem and how to perceive them, how they combine, and then actually when they receive the information, how they transfer this information, how they search, how they present that information, because that's more important. Education is not a knowledge. Education is actually when you receive that knowledge and you're able to present that knowledge to use it for practical skills. A couple of diagrams that present some of the results, which I would just like it public in order to save time. And what's important, a couple of speakers, predecessors already mentioned that this information communication environment allow people to be more integrated, having more personal development. They feel included into this global information process, and it becomes more interesting. So we have that balance from educational online and processes or educational now old school. And the purpose of higher education, as the final word, is actually a continued education when you educate students how to educate themselves to be active and individual in their development. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope that I was within the limits.
Thank you very much for such an informative and highly emotional report.